Olá a todos, eu sou Arnaldo Colombo, médico infectologista, pesquisador na área de doenças infecciosas, com foco em micoses invasivas, e coordenando agora a iniciativa, o nosso Instituto São Paulo de Resistência Antimicrobiana. E é um grande prazer, na verdade é um privilégio, estarmos aqui no nosso laboratório com a presença do Dr. Tom Schiller. O Dr. Tom Schiller é médico infectologista, epidemiologista, chefe do branch de micologia clínica no Centro de Controles de Doença em Atlanta, onde ele trabalha há mais de 20 anos em projetos de detecção precoce, de agravos à saúde relacionados a infecções fúngicas e também organização de respostas. Consultor da OPAS, consultor da Organização Mundial de Saúde, e nós vamos rapidamente falar um pouco sobre a importância da resistência antimicrobiana e também sobre o papel dos fungos nesse capítulo. Tom, it's a great pleasure having you here. Thanks for accepting our invitation to come to Brazil, São Paulo. My first question to you is how important it is antimicrobial resistance in the scenario of public health. WHO is expending lots of energy, promoting some policies to combat microbial resistance. What is your perspective and the perspective of CDC in terms of microbial resistance?
Well, obrigado. Thank you for having me. I think that as one of the top public health priorities, antimicrobial resistance and its development is going to be one of the most critical issues that we face in healthcare and in public health in the future. It's critical to address this issue. We have these miracle drugs that we call antibiotics. They save thousands, if not millions of lives in their history, and we're losing them. We're losing our ability to use them. So responding to, understanding, and developing strategies to combat antimicrobial resistance is going to be critical for us across the healthcare sector. And of course, we don't want to forget that it's not just bacteria, it's fungi. As you know, we both work on fungi. And so it's critical to think about the different pathogens and how we can address antimicrobial resistance moving forward.
Perfect. And then in this direction, we started one initiative in São Paulo, Brazil, that you were aware. We set up the Instituto Paulista of Antimicrobial Resistance in order to combat antimicrobial resistance, checking for burden, checking for molecular mechanisms and strategies to combat. Would you like to say some words about the relevance of having this kind of initiative, what you were aware about our proposal?
Yes, I was thrilled to hear about the formation of this institute. I think this kind of activity with a cohesive approach is critical to us being able to advance and react to this upcoming challenges of antimicrobial resistance. I like the way you've combined these three areas, starting with burden, understanding where the resistance is and how much is happening and how it's moving toward science to understand mechanisms and how those mechanisms are influenced by the environment, One Health, and other mechanisms. And then finally, ultimately, our implementation strategies for how we're going to combat this. And that has to be by being good stewards of these drugs and diagnostics in the hospital, but also by being good stewards of the environment and of animals. And so we have to look at a One Health approach, and we have to be thinking about antimicrobial resistance as a real challenging problem moving forward.
Thank you so much. Last question for you. When we say antimicrobial resistant, it comes to the mind of most people antibiotics and resistant to antibiotics. How important it is resistance to antifungals? Do you think this is also a problem that should be addressed in the same priority?
Well, I think you know my answer to that. Clearly, antifungal resistance is a growing problem. Unlike with bacteria, we only have 3 major classes of drugs that we use to treat serious fungal infections. And so we have very limited products that we can use. And so resistance to even one of those gives us only 2/3 of the drugs left. Resistance to two puts us with one class. And so we're in a critical period for antifungal resistance, and we cannot forget about that entity as well.
Thank you so much. And once again, Tom, thanks for coming to Brazil. Thanks for your collaboration with our group. And congratulations for your great job in health diplomacy, in combating fungal infection all over the world. It's a pleasure having you here.
Well, thank you for those kind words. I think working with you here has been a complete honor and pleasure for us, and we will continue to support you in years to come.
Thank you. Ok, guys. Muito obrigado a todos. Foi um grande prazer.
Prazer. Obrigado.